Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday, and you know what? It's June the 3rd. I had to think about that for a second. I am on location in Minneapolis, Minnesota, going to my grandson's high school graduation today, and real excited about that. Yeah, he graduating high school, big time for him. So me and my wife are here with all my children. We're here as a family to greet him. So I'm in Minneapolis, staying at a hotel, and I heard, or should I say I read, Ian Begley article about Jalen Brunson's father, Rick Brunson, being hired by the Knicks as an assistant coach. And of course, we know the speculation. You know, it doesn't take much for Knicks Nation to get bit with the catnip and start tripping. So let's talk about the ramifications. First of all, if you read the article, Ian Begley's article. So we know it's true. Ian Begley writes it. It's true. That's the way I look at it. Like I said, Shams, Woj, Begley. If they writing something about the Knicks, you could bank it. It's happening. Okay. So they definitely are hiring Rick Brunson as an assistant coach. But he also brought out some very important points that we should need to consider. Rick Brunson and Tom Thibodeau go back to when Rick Brunson was in high school. Now, Rick Brunson is like 38 now, 42, somewhere in that area. He goes back to Tom Thibodeau when Tom Thibodeau was coaching at Salem State and Rick Brunson was high school McDonald's All-American. So he goes back a long way to his teenage years. So they got a long relationship. Before Jalen was even thought about, Rick Brunson knew Tom Thibodeau. He coached with Thibodeau in Minnesota as well as Chicago. Okay. Tom Thibodeau was trying to get him to join him in the Harvard when Tibbs was an assistant coach at Harvard, and Rick to get the young Rick Brunson to play there. And Rick didn't end up going there. He ended up going to Don Chaney and Temple. Okay, but they're both basketball junkies. All right, so they go back a long way, long before again Jalen Brunson was even thought about. So now. So this is more than just about Jalen Brunson. This is a relationship with Thibodeau and Brunson, Rick Brunson. It was also mentioned, interesting enough, that even while Brunson was a player at the end of his career, he would sit on the bench next to Thibodeau. Not because he was ready to go in the game, but just to learn. It's like these guys are kindred spirits. Okay. So this is deeper than Jalen Brunson. So to me, it's more than have anything to do with Jalen Brunson's decision as to whether he's going to stay in Dallas or come to the Knicks. As a matter of fact, I know some of y'all just like the hype, so you're going to buy into it no matter what I say, but I like to keep a level head about these things. And I still feel there's probably above 80% chance that Jalen Brunson's going to stay with Dallas. He's going to get a big offer from more than the Knicks could pay him from, he's going to get a big offer from the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He's going to get a big offer from him. And see, generally speaking, a guy that's a superstar, like a LeBron, KD, Stephen Curry, when you're on that level of superstar, Kawhi Leonard, you don't always sign. In fact, you probably don't sign 5-year contracts. You don't, because you're not worried about the security. You're going to get your money. Okay. Even in 2, 3, 4 years, you're going to get more money than most players make in a career on that level. Not only that, when you're real marketable, like, you see, Zach LaVine doing a lot of commercials. What is he doing in a commercial for some soda or something? But they're making their money off the court. They still making their money off the court. Matter of fact, Zion Williamson, the minimum he's going to get over his 4 years being the number 1 overall pick is $40 million. He's going to get that regardless if he plays again or doesn't. And he's already signed a $100 million sneaker deal. So he's going to get his money. Okay. No matter what. So in those scenarios, guys don't sign 5-year deals. And you say, well, why wouldn't they? Because they want to be in a position to win. The money's going to be there. They're not worried about the money. They're going to get the money. So they want to be in a position to win. So LeBron might sign a 2-year deal, a 3-year deal with a player option. Kawhi does the same thing. That keeps the organization that they're playing for on their toes, knowing that they got to keep striving to build around this superstar and win the championship. Okay, that's why you see those guys sign shorter term deals. But Jalen Brunson is not that. He's not a superstar by any means, nor will he ever be a superstar. The best Jalen Brunson could be, which is, he's obviously a good player. I'm not trying to dish him. Some of y'all, trip and start acting like if he's not a superstar, he must stink. No, I don't consider Kyle Lowry a superstar. I don't consider Fred VanVleet a superstar, but these are really good toward great players. Okay. But with players like that, you're undersized. You're not the quickest. You're not the strongest. You're not the fastest. You got the biggest heart though. And you can win. You know how to win. You take the 5-year deal. Okay. You take the 5-year deal. Even at the end of the 5th year, you might take a player option just in case, because the money is just growing in the NBA. The money is growing. It's coming from China. It's coming from corporate level. It's coming from the fans. The money in the NBA is growing, period. End of story. So you might want to get a player option just so that you can cash in even more, but you want the 5-year deal. So Dallas, Mark Cuban knows he can offer Jalen Brunson a 5th year. So let's say the deal is $22 million a year, which is going to be more than the Knicks should even be looking to pay the young man. But the Knicks maximum, if they cleared the cap space, assuming they could, which I'm not worried about the Knicks. They can clear the cap space, but that would be $88 million. I'm not comfortable with that. But I'm just saying what they could give him if he wanted $22 million a year. Mark Cuban can give him $110 million. Okay. Mark Cuban can give him $110 million. That's a lot of money. Okay. Guaranteed 5 years done. You're age 26. You're Jalen Brunson. You're age 26. You're going to be 26 years old. That gets you to 31. Generational wealth locked up. You're 6'1". You can't hardly, you're not the most athletic dude. You're not LeBron James. You're not Kawhi Leonard. You never will be, but you just locked up $100 million. That's what I'm saying. He's not coming to the Knicks. Okay. He's not. Okay. Now, if he was to come to the Knicks, if he decided, against everything I just said, against all odds, he signs with New York, it's because he's going to get the keys. It's not because his dad is there. His dad being there and Tiz being there gives him a definite high level of comfort. His father, like I said, knew Tom Thibodeau before Jalen Brunson was thought about. Before Jalen Brunson's mother ever came into the picture, Tom Thibodeau and Rick Brunson were tight. Okay, so that's good. That gives Jalen a level of comfort. But he would be coming to New York because he's getting the keys. It's going to be his team, period. For the next 5 years, it'll be his team. Okay? And so that would be the situation. Now, again, y'all know how I feel. Raw Hebrew think we got our point guard in Deuce McBride. We got our point guard. As far as I'm concerned, we got our point guard. That young man could run this team starting this coming season. If you give Deuce McBride the keys, you're going to battle for the playoff. I tell you, some of y'all don't see it, but I see it clearly. This young man can play. Okay. And we're going to get to see it in the summer league. I'm excited about that. But, okay, for the non-believers, as Ice Cube said, this is for the non-believers. Okay, for the non-believers, okay, you could do, Jalen Brunson and he'll get the keys. It's going to be his team. And I think we'd be good with Jalen Brunson. I'm not saying we would stink. Okay. I wouldn't, but that's why he would come. It's not the money even. He would get the money. He would not get as much as Dallas could give him, but he'd have the team in his hands. Whereas in Dallas, he's playing next to Luka Doncic, a maestro. A literal generational talent that's just born to play basketball. Those guys don't come along. You don't just get a kid like a LeBron James or like a Luka that's just born 6'8", can handle the rock, can see 3 plays ahead of everybody else, knows exactly what you're getting ready to do on the court before you do it, memorize his plays and your plays. This is the level we're talking about. Okay. Can get his shot anytime he wants, any place he wants. He just needs to decide what's the best option for him. Can carry a team to the Western Conference Finals. Okay, you're playing next to that. A guy like a Jalen Brunson, as much as he might want the keys, he's smart. He's smart. He's very intelligent, this kid, Jalen Brunson. He won 2 championships at Villanova. He plays with his mind. He plays with his IQ. He's very smart. You're not going to get a Luka Doncic, but every 10 years. And to get to play with a Luka Doncic like that, you're blessed if you're a professional basketball player, if you appreciate the game. So I'm saying, I'm really saying he's not. I'm really shocked if he comes to New York. I'll be really shocked if Jalen Brunson comes to New York. Like I said, he can get, and Cuban gonna give him the 5 years. Look, he gonna get the 5 years. He gonna get 5 years between 100 million and 110 million. That's what Jalen Brunson gonna get. And he's not turning that down on a team that just came from the Western Conference Finals that could have really given Golden State more for their money if they had a healthy Tim Hardaway. And I'm telling you, that's how important Hardaway would be to that squad. They play excellent defense, and they really, they just a step away. Okay, so if they get a rim run in 5, they could get like a Mo Bamba. Some of you are looking at Mitch Rob. I don't see how they would get Mitch Rob. And the reason I say that is because Mitch Rob has $55.6 million on the table with the Knicks. It's on the table. The most Dallas could offer him is the mid-level exception. That's the most they could offer him. They don't have the cap space. They're over the tax apron. They could bring him on the mid-level exception, $10.4 million. And maybe they could get him for $44 million, or over $40 million over a 4-year period. But he's going to get 55.6 with the Knicks over the same 4-year period. He's staying in New York. But Mo Bamba, coming out of a rookie deal, not being offered an extension at all either, and having to leave because now Orlando has the number 1 overall pick. They got a center already. They got Jonathan Isaac already, and now they're gonna draft Jabari Smith or Chet Holmgren. They don't need Mo Bamba. He's not gonna get no PT. He was already splitting time with Carter Jr. last year. So he's not gonna do that. So he's leaving. So Dallas could get a Mo Bamba on the mid-level exception. Because Mo Bamba ain't getting no better offers than that. Nowhere. Nobody giving him more than the $40 million over 4 years. Nobody. Okay? He may not even get that. He might get $36 million over 4 years. Because he's not in control. Okay? Whereas Mitch Rob can get 55.6. The Don will probably get that. That's on the table. Okay? So unless Detroit decide to go up above that, which they could, he's going to stay with the Knicks. Okay, whereas Bamba, I can see now you bring Bamba into Dallas and you give a weapon like a Luka Doncic or Mo Bamba, and you have a high IQ player beside them and a Jalen Brunson. Only thing could stop them is injuries. That's it. They will be devastating, that team. So the bottom line is Rick Brunson coming to the Knicks is a great thing. Maybe Tom Thibodeau will listen to him. Because they've been together, because he don't listen to his assistants. Okay, maybe he'll listen to Rick Brunson a little bit. Okay, they'll play tough defense. The defense will return this season under Tom Thibodeau and Rick Brunson. The defense will return, guaranteed. Okay, that's gonna happen. So now that's good. But this really, I'm telling you, got nothing to do with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson gonna do what he do. He gonna do what's best for Jalen Brunson, and as his father would tell him, this ain't college, Kenny Payne just hired DeJuan Wagner's son to come he hired DeJuan Wagner to be a coach at Louisville so he can get DJ. They do that in college all the time. The NBA ain't like that. This is the league, man. This is money right here. You can get fired. All y'all. Okay? So it's different. This is the league. So I don't think one has nothing to do with the other. Don't get hyped over that. But I tell you what, the bigger news to me wasn't Rick Brunson being hired by the Knicks. The bigger news is the rumor mill, which I believe that the Knicks are trying to move up in this draft. I told y'all, y'all know, I've been telling y'all like several weeks ago of all the teams the Knicks could do business with to move up, that there's opportunity. I just put that, y'all can go back in the archives. You ain't got to go back that far. There's teams the Knicks could do business with. Remember now, we talked about Sacramento. Portland, remember that? We talked about Detroit. We talked about teams that the Knicks, Indiana, teams that the Knicks could do business with to move up and get one of these top players. Yo, if we get a Jaden Ivey on the Knicks, we ready. Now you just gotta let that food cook. We got all the ingredients we need. We just gotta let that food cook. If we get a Jaden Ivey, it's a wrap. Just give us a couple of seasons. It's a wrap. Okay, and then of course, y'all know I love Benedict Mathurin. We get Benedict Mathurin, it's a wrap. Okay, so I can see them trying to move up. I trust Leon to get the best deal for the Knicks. Some of y'all think because I call him the Don, he fleeces people. The Don ain't ain't Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge fleeced the Nets because the Nets was stupid. I have to say, except for the exception of maybe the Sacramento Kings, these NBA teams ain't that dumb. It ain't about fleecing nobody. The Don is the Don because he knows how to wheel and deal to put the Knicks in the best position. Some of y'all still ain't caught up to them chess moves he did last draft. He turned the 22nd pick into Grimes and a first rounder. Y'all don't catch that. He turned the 22nd pick into Grimes and the first rounder from Charlotte. Now, he used the first round to go get Cam. So basically, you could say he turned that one first round pick into Cam and Grimes in a first round. And then he sent that first rounder to Atlanta to get Cam. That's magic right there, baby. Come on, wake up. Not everybody does that. That's thinking 3 steps ahead. That's chess, baby. Come on, wake up. Y'all got to catch up a little bit. Okay, that's what he did. He turned the first round pick the Knicks had into a first round talent in Quentin Grimes. Okay, and another first rounder that he got for the future. And then he traded that first rounder to get Cam Reddish. And I'm going to tell you something. If he trade Cam Reddish, believe it, he getting something else. This dude is the deal when it comes to these type of things. Okay, so I'm very confident that he's on the phone and he's going to do something good for us. This is the first time in my life, I mean, since we had Donnie Walsh, and I was a little scared for Donnie Walsh because of James Dolan. I'm more confident now because Dolan stepped aside. I wish he'd have done that with Donnie Walsh. We'd have built a champion already. But that's beside the point. That's past. Can't do nothing about that. But right now, I'm very confident. He done gave Leon the keys to the organization. And Leon is smart, basketball-wise, finding this talent in the draft. He's already making calls. I'm not worried about it, but I want to see what he ends up doing. And if we have to trade down and get 2 players, fine. If we trade up, fine. If he stays at 11 even, which I doubt he'll do, fine. I think staying at 11 is the least likely scenario. More likely scenario, he's either going to move up or he's going to trade down. Because you could get a Malachi Branham and a Tari Eason if you trade down. You can get a Kai Agbaji and maybe a Jeremy Sohan if you trade down. You might be able to do that. Or you could trade up and get gold. Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurin. That's gold right there. Okay? So that puts you on another level. That now brings your franchise into position to start competing for a chip in a couple of seasons. Okay? Some of y'all don't see it. I said Benedict Mathurin could be out taking some idiot laugh. That ain't funny. Yeah. Either of them kids could be Arte. Why y'all always look at players in their finished state and think they started like that? They didn't start like that. They got developed. Some of y'all don't understand that word yet. And you're talking about, why don't we go get this one and go get that one? You're thinking like Knicks fans from 2006. Stop it. We should be thinking like Celtics team of 2022. How about that? Y'all enjoy your weekend. I'm getting ready to go to my grandson's graduation and I'm going to enjoy it. Y'all enjoy yours. Be safe out there. Oh, one more thing. Some of y'all that's on the Bible study side, we may not have the Bible study tonight for obvious reasons. The graduation is like at 4 o'clock on Minnesota time. Then I'm going to be hanging with my fam and all that. But we are going to do our Bible study tomorrow at 11 a.m. Just to let y'all know. 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be 10 a.m. Central time out here. Just letting you know. Aside from that, shalom.